Ready to do the pledge?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes?
All right, you want me to read them? I got
them for you. Do my little thing.
Minutes from February 1st.
Here, I'll take it.
Okay,
I get my airtime.
Cool, that's
Get my airtime.
get your time, man.
Real quick. Then you can have the rest.
I'm good.
Do the secretary thing. Welcome everybody.
And
And
treasure report.
no, I don't know about money. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. The minutes from February 1st, meeting was called to order by Al at 7 p.m. And he led the Pledge of Allegiance. I read the minutes for the January 17th meeting or January 2017 meeting. Minutes were motioned, seconded, and passed. Al read the Treasury report, which was motioned, seconded, and passed. He reported the Club MCOM trailer is back at the fire station. He also reported the 225 machine is working in fair condition. Al reported that the club trustee paperwork is pending and Wade needs to be contacted regarding this paperwork. He also discussed the need to go to Greg's house to take down antennas and assist Greg's son and daughter with moving items from his home. Items will be taken to the C-Cam for storage. Al has not yet contacted Trey to make repairs on the 440 machine. John has been adjusting our club website, hoping to make it easier to use. I gave a short summary of the Ham and Ham Fest in January. Al mentioned he needed to talk to Keith about some club business. Members were reminded the club net is being called on the 985 machine on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. and please check in if you can. Al asked about getting a power supply from Dean Smith's house and will arrange to pick it up. I asked about John being able to add a hyperlink to FEMA on the club website because we talked about the incident command system and other stuff. Members were reminded that the January meeting can be viewed on YouTube, and Al discussed sending out emails for club announcements. Also, Mr. Steve, K5ARC, who's here tonight, reminded everyone of the upcoming Rain Ham Fest in March 10th and 11th. And members held informal discussion of Aries and the progress of the Louisiana ARRL group and the pros and cons of the groups. And there was the usual Red Cross bashing that went on. And then we adjourned the meeting at 1939. And with that, anyone want a motion and a
I would
second?
like to move that the minutes be accepted as read.
Motion and a second to accept the February 1st, 2017 minutes as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. All right, so minutes have been accepted as read.
Tell us about the money.
All right, not much has changed.
Did Dean rejoin? He said he was going to.
Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he was going to.
Savings account beginning balance was $1,029.59 with a grand total of 4 cents in interest, so it put us at $1,029.63. PayPal beginning balance was $668.85 and the ending balance was $668.85. Checking account beginning was $681.18 and the ending was $681.18, so we didn't really do anything this month. But it gives us a grand total of $2,379.66, so we are doing a little bit better than we have been. We'll have to spend, I think, about $15 this month to, the incorporation needs to be renewed, so I gotta do that. I can do that online. And that should be about the expenses for this month. So, do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion that we accept the Treasury report as read by Al. Anyone?
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second to accept the Treasury report as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Treasury report is accepted.
By the way, I don't know, how much interest do we get?
It was 4 cents. It's about 4 cents a month.
Is it 0.05 or?
Yeah,
what?
like a half of a percent or something, or half of a tenth of a percent.
Because this, I have an account with Discover Bank, now that's not a lot, but it does give you 0.95.
Well, we actually still at Chase Bank, and
Oh, Chase doesn't give you anything.
well, the wife and I have moved our accounts out of Chase Bank, and we are actually looking into some other banks. We're we're not sure if we're gonna stay where we're at or look at some other ones, because the one we're at now charges some fees. And so depending on where we can go, and if nobody has an issue, we will move the club account to wherever we move our bank accounts.
No, I don't have an issue.
I mean, it's basically the same thing, no matter
Right.
where you go. It's a simple checking account and savings account, so, I'd like to go somewhere where there are no fees or minimal fees.
Right.
I got a couple of things for new business. We did go to Greg's house. Steve and I went. Did you go? No. Somebody went with you.
Yeah, I took a battle buddy from down there in St. Gabriel.
And, who else?
Alan went.
Oh, Dan
Dan was there.
and Jim.
Yep, Jim.
And we did manage to get all of the push-up poles down.
That was a.
There was like miles of coax and guy wire and rope. We got the gin pole. We got all of his rope that he had. His kids said, y'all just will donate it to the club. So we got the push-up poles. I think Steve got a couple of push-up poles, and
Yeah, I took one for myself to put up at my house for another antenna I'm trying to put, and Alan, who's studying for his technician license with the Baton Rouge Club and hopes to be testing out soon, he's hoping to put up a station.
so that would work. I mean, that kind of stuff, if we can help somebody get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Why
get him a
not?
good station
Yeah.
set up.
They still have, I don't know, maybe 40 sections of tower at his house. So I'm trying to get a trailer. Got a buddy of mine that I may be able to borrow his trailer. It's a 16 foot. Jim said we could use his. So if the weather's not too nasty, and maybe, I don't think it'll be this weekend, but I'll get in touch with Gina. They normally go down there on the Sundays. They get there about 9:30 in the morning sometimes, so I'll get back in touch with her and set up when we can go and get the rest of that stuff. I don't even know if they have to be there. It's all in the backyard.
It's stacked up nice and neat, but we
Yeah,
just
it's
got to
all
get it.
stacked nice and neat.
There's no way to get back to it. We're literally going to have to manhandle it all the way from the back.
I may be able to back down that other side of the house.
Okay, because you got
Maybe.
that hump and that hill
Yeah.
that we can't get around the other.
No, not that side, the other side.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh, the opposite from the garage.
Yes. I don't know about, I'd have to back through the yard, because I think there's a ditch right there. I'm not sure. But I could probably get down that side of the house, the side opposite the driveway. So I'll get with them, and if they don't have an issue, if they're not there, we can go anytime. We can get in there and go pick that stuff up. We left a room in the sea can to put it in the right front corner and stack it. And he does have one of those little 3-section crank ups that Carl had. He's got one of those over there. So there's plenty of towel over there. Now, he's also got some big old I-beam. I didn't really get into them, didn't get into that with him. That stuff, I helped him move it over there. I don't know if you want to move it out. It's heavy. It came up, it's pipe rack I-beam.
Yeah. Also, another item that we ran into was he's got a bunch of coax running from the interior of the house out through the eaves.
Yeah.
And then to the antennas that he had mounted outside. The problem is that we can't figure out how he's got those coax secured. We weren't able to pull that coax through the eaves and get.
Right.
So someone's
We
going to
don't
have to
know.
climb up in that attic
Yeah.
and see where it's secured and unsecure
We
it.
don't
from
know
the-
if he's got it secured in the attic, if it's just hung up on something, or what. But it all comes down to where, if you've ever been in his house, I don't know if you've been in there. When you walk in the front door, you walk in the living room, there's a big built-in bookcase, TV, entertainment center and all that right there. His coax came through the back of that, through one of the doors. So, I don't know, like I say, if he's got it secured in the attic somewhere, or if it's just hung up on something up there. But we tried to pull a couple of them, and
Nope.
it wouldn't pull.
not budging.
So, I mean, worst case scenario, you'll probably have to cut one end off to get it through wherever he's got. If I know Greg, he pushed that coax down that wall and then he put the ends on.
Probably.
So we'll probably have to cut the ends in the house, pull them up through the wall and pull them outside. Be the easiest way to do it. Another thing, John emailed me the other day. Mr. Rick Weber is now on the airport board. And he asked John if the club would be interested in, they bought an aviation radio. It's not much. He sent me a picture of it. I don't know if you've ever seen these little Motorola's, they got the bracket, the little power supplies about that. You've probably seen what I'm talking about. In the plants, they use them for the safety radios in safe zones. It's a little bracket with the power supply on the bottom and a mobile on the top. And he would ask if we would mind going out and getting that hooked up for him.
He's on the aviation board at the airport out here in Gonzales?
Yeah, Gonzales Airport, yeah. And John went and looked at the radio, sent me the picture. It's really pretty straightforward. The only thing I asked him was, did they have an antenna and a place to mount it? He said he would look around and find out. So I need to email him again and ask him if he found anything. You're probably looking at half a day, maybe. You know, it'd probably be good publicity for us. We could take some pictures and put an article in a weekly or something, or a Creole or something. Huh? You know, it wouldn't hurt. Be a good thing to maybe get some publicity, get our name out.
What kind of planes come in here? Just the props?
No, they got some
They got
small
some
jets.
small
that come
jets like them, the Learjet type things. They come in
in. I
there.
saw one
Yeah.
landing the other day, coming in over 30.
Yeah. And there are plans to expand that thing, as far as I know, to accept some bigger planes. So, but they don't have any, tower or anything that I know of as far as controllers or anything. But I'll get, keep everybody in the loop through email or whatever, and maybe we can do that maybe one Saturday morning or Friday afternoon or something. Everybody's off, whatever, we can go do that. Anybody else got any new business?
How about old business?
I'm ready, that's where I'm at.
Repeater report. Give us a repeater report on 225, 31985 and 440 and APRS.
310's working good. 440's down.
Well, 440's been down.
Mm-hmm. And the
APRS is down.
it's been down, yeah. And that's what Todd said. He's going to try to get Joe to go out, not this Friday, but next, which is the guy to go out to the 225. And if we can meet him there early in the morning and pull that amp, because pretty sure that's where the problem's at again.
Now, the 985 is okay, right?
Yes, 985's working fine. I don't know if you saw the email. John sent me an email. Joe sent him an email saying that he would no longer be able to call them that. Let's see if I can find it. I'll read it to you.
John won't call the 985.
No, Joe.
Joe.
Joe sent, John, I'm sorry to say I will no longer be able to call them that. The last 3 times I had 0 check-ins, and with that I'm pulling my name off the list.
Is that the guy in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Stephen called it, Steve Riley called it, and he had, 10 or 12 check-ins. Because I had hooked my radio back up, my 2-meter, and sitting there with it on scan, and I totally forgot about the net. And Steve came on and called it. I checked in with Steve. Last Thursday, I heard Joe come on there, and the next thing I know, he was signing off. So I don't know what the deal was. I didn't even notice that he really tried to call it.
Well, no, he didn't. He meant in terms of the link part, I think, is what he's talking about.
Maybe so.
Because Joe's never called our net.
Well, he had volunteered to call it.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
And I don't know if he ever did or not. I
He
never.
did the week before last,
Okay.
because I got to try to get on this week, but I was about 10, my daughters took off in my truck, I was about 10 minutes late. But there was nothing.
Yeah, I heard him ID before, and then the next thing I know, he was IDing to get off, shutting the link down and all. It was like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the week before that, though, I think I got on it, but there was only like maybe 4 or 5. But there were some check-ins.
yeah, Steve had a few, Maybe we can get Steve to call too. I don't mind. I'll pick it up sometime, if they want to keep it going.
All right, on old business, power supply from Dean Smith's house. Did you ever pick up power supply?
Dean was supposed to bring that thing last meeting, and he did not, and I have not gotten back with him. I will do that. Might be a little while, but I'll get with him. I have not still been able to contact Wade. Trey, I did talk to, but he's not been able to get out this way.
What's Trey doing? I'm sorry.
He's the guy that for Lafarge with the 985 and 440.
I'm sorry. Oh, Trey is
Trey's the one for the
the 440 and
the contact for the
right.
for the convent area. I did not even try to talk to Keith yet. John is working, doing different things on the website. I mentioned to him about the FEMA link.
Are you going to try to get that 440 repeater moved? You said you wanted to put it up somewhere in Gonzales or something?
No, we're just trying to get it working.
Okay, because you had talked about getting it moved one time.
We had tried to, and Darlene had contacted.
Darlene contacted.
Yeah, she tried to contact ETEL, and it used to be Ashley Phillips, and Ashley's actually a ham.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody else took, of course, he's, I'm sure, moved up, and somebody else has taken that position, and there's no reply.
Yeah.
I missed. I got you. Hadn't gotten the power supply from Dean Smith, and you hadn't been able to go out to the 440 site with Trey yet.
Yeah.
What was the other thing with Keith? Keith was doing something.
Oh, I need to talk to Keith about the test session. Keith.
Oh, to get the VEC
Yeah.
through New Orleans
Keith
or
Walker.
Jefferson.
Yeah. And that's about all I have.
Yeah, well, the next meeting's going to be April the 5th, if I got my calendar right.
Can always count on Steve. And as Todd mentioned before the meeting, the Rain Ham Fest is
This weekend.
this week, next
Next
week.
weekend. Next weekend.
Ooh, so we go fishing Friday and go to Ham Fest Saturday. Let's see if I can get a yard pass.
Is not this coming weekend?
No.
No, it's the 10th and
10th
11th.
and 11th, yeah.
And I don't know if y'all have been to that one. I know you have. It's
It's a good ham
small.
fest to go to. It's kind of
Not
busy
real
coming
big.
back though. Trying to get over that bridge. Take your time.
It's a good ham fest.
Yeah.
If your wife likes crafts or whatever, generally they have one room that's all craft stuff for the ladies. So it gives them.
Say the only downfall of that is coming back across the bridge.
Food's good too normally. They normally got some pretty good food over there. They'll do
They do something Friday night.
They do a crawfish ball Friday
Friday
night.
night.
They actually have camper spots, and you can reserve a spot for your camper. They'll do a crawfish boil, and then they start the ham fest Saturday morning. No, it's actually.
And I
pretty
believe
good.
it's what, 8 to 2, isn't it, something like
Yes,
that?
I think so. Now, I haven't seen a vendor list. I haven't looked. So I haven't seen a list of vendors, who's going, but
Yeah, I don't know.
generally, well, there's no more,
Usually pretty good.
there is no more, Houston Amateur.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Since when did they,
in the last year, I think.
I didn't know that. You
Yeah.
mean Houston Amateur Radio,
They out of business.
okay.
Yep.
Well,
George retired about 2 years ago. Another fellow bought it, and they moved it from Spring down closer to Houston, and last year they shut it down.
Okay, yeah, because they just moved about a year,
About a year ago,
yeah.
a little over a year ago.
That's a shame, because they had an icon repairman there and all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Greg said that radio so many
Right.
times.
Right, so that's a,
That's probably what
a
drove my
big,
business.
Maybe so.
so that's a big loss though, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and they were good. I hadn't dealt with them since George retired, but George was really good to deal with. If anybody, he was he'd help you out. And the repairman, they had a different guy in there. When George retired, he left. The one that was the heavyset fellow used to do repairs. He went somewhere else. So they still have an icon technician, but it wasn't the same guy.
Well, I'm gonna tell
remarks?
you what, there are fewer and fewer places selling amateur radios now. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, there's fewer and fewer actually brick and mortar places.
Right.
I don't know.
And then the thing too is a lot of the, you know, you're looking at AES or whatever, they got bought up, you know.
Yeah. Who got them?
Ham radio outlet.
Not Gigaparts.
No,
HRO.
Ham radio outlet.
HRO got them, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's still internet places that pretty much.
There are a few stores. There's Universal Shortwave is a store. I think.
Yeah, Universal Radio,
They're in Ohio.
and R&L's in Hamilton, I like them.
If anyone doesn't have anything else, I'll make a motion
that's
to
it.
adjourn the meeting
All right, what is it, 7:22,
Second.
23?
at 7:22.
Second.
We adjourn.
Got a second?
All right.
Excellent, short and sweet.
Wow.